Today, in preparation to go east now instead of west, to go pick up our truck camper, guys, we are going to put on these Torklift tie downs. I just ordered these from Amazon. They are vehicle specific, and I will put a link down in the description below for these. The models I needed for my 2020 F450 were for the rears, it's F3008, and for the front tie downs, it's F2021. I haven't taken them out of the boxes yet, guys, but these will go under and bolt right to the frame. It's supposed to be the best connection you can have for a truck camper. That's why we bought these that actually go onto the frame. These are Torklift brand, if I didn't mention that before. I have heard and read quite a bit about Torklift, and they seem to be the standard for the industry. If you want the good stuff, everybody says go with Torklift. We're getting ready to open them up and see what we got inside here, and then get them installed. Come along and let's see how it goes. Hello and welcome back. If it's your first time here, I'm Scott.
And I'm Allison.
And we are
Jarhead and Ginger's Journey.
We're full-time RVers. We do destination videos, tips and tricks, and all things RV. That sounds like something you'd like. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and come along on our journeys.
Been a struggle. I know you've had some pain. I know you're feeling tired, held down by all the weight. Yeah, I know you're feeling lonely. Your smile ain't the same. Not sure where to go from here. Feel like you've lost your way. Don't give up, no, don't give in. Never lose hope, don't let go of the promise. It ain't done yet, he's got a plan. What's a breakdown?
Well, there's the unboxing done, guys. It looks like it's very well made. It's all powder coated material, pretty thick metal. I guess that's to be expected. It's going to gripe your house down to your truck. But I was pretty impressed so far with the quality and actually how it was packed up. It was packed in some good thick paper. Both the fronts and the rears were packed together in their own box. They have a big pack each of hardware to get the job done for, again, both fronts and backs. So far, so good. A lot of work to do. Stick around, guys.
Inside you, child, you're putting up a fight. Oh, you're stronger than you think you are. Yeah, you're gonna be alright. You're accepted, loved, and valued. Beautiful, you're shining bright. Yeah, you're living, breathing.
There isn't any tool guide, but this is just what I think I may need here. I've got my light, my impact driver there with a 1/2-inch bit in it, a hammer, you never know when you're going to need to persuade something, pocket knife, that was just to open the boxes, the wrench there for one side of all the bolts. I have a breaker bar in case I need it. I don't think there's going to be bolts in place. It's just holes I'm looking for according to the directions. My 1/2-inch drive ratchet, my torque wrench. Everything so far that I've read, at least on the front ones, need to be torqued to 65 foot-pounds. An assortment of sockets here. I will only need 3/4, just like the wrench. All the nuts and bolts are 3/4, and a couple of extensions. And of course, even though I am a man, I am reading the directions on this one, guys. This is way too important not to read the directions. I've got one of the fronts done now. I didn't do any on camera because I wanted to see how it goes so I could show you guys better on the next one. However, check it out. There it is, completely installed. It's 4 bolts. Not too bad. I didn't need all of the tools I showed you earlier, but I needed a couple of others. So let me get to the other side and I'll show you guys the tools that I actually used and needed to put this front one on. And then I'll go over a couple of the highlights also on the other side. So stick around. We're going to check this out. It's pretty cool. The list of tools dwindled a little bit here as I got it done over there. I did have to go to the store and buy a deep well socket in 3/4. I didn't have deep well. All I had was the shallow socket. So I needed that in order to get it torqued down to 65. My shallow socket just slipped off, unfortunately. I did need 2 extensions. This is a 4-incher and that is probably a 12-incher. I definitely needed my torque wrench. I used my my impact gun here, but that was just to get the nuts to where everything was tight enough to where I could get my wrench on it. It's kind of hard to explain here, but I'll show you when I get there on this side. And I also used my handy dandy light here to look up here while I was doing it. And of course my 1/2-inch drive regular ratchet to get them cinched down just prior to 65 PSI. But let's look up under here right quick and I'll show you what we're looking at when it comes to putting these things on. There's 4 holes in my truck that we needed to find, and it all centered around this bracket right here, which is if you look up here, it actually attaches to the truck bed. So one of the bolts openings that we need is under here, this one, and this is actually pivotal because this frame is solid except for the holes here. We'll fish things through here and I'll show you that in a bit, but this hole, this one, and this one way up here are the 4 holes that you're going to need to mount this onto, and boy, it is super solid over there once you get it on. So let's go. One thing I thought was really cool, guys, are these things that they give you. These are to fish the bolts through this closed frame here, so you can actually pull them through from inside the frame. It's really cool. You put whatever you want onto the bolt, or whatever they tell you to put onto the bolt, like a star washer and then this flat piece, and then you take this spring looking piece and you just screw the bolt right into there. That gives you the, and then that gives you the hold there, and then you fish the end through where they tell you to fish it through, and then you pull it right through and it comes right out the bracket. It's a little harder than that. It takes a little bit of fiddling around, but these things are incredibly cool. I couldn't believe how these work.
You can hold your head up high. Don't give up, no, don't give in. Never lose hope, don't let go of the promise. It ain't done yet, it's got a plan. Watch some rain down, the God of miracles. Don't give up, no, don't give in. Never lose hope, don't let go of the promise. It ain't done, life is worth living. Watch some rain down, the God of miracles. Watch some rain down, the God of miracles. Oh yeah. Watch some rain down, the God of miracles. Oh yeah. The God of miracles.
This is what we've been working on. Remember I told you about these cool little things to fish the wires up, or the bolts up through the frame. Well, here they are set up now. I've got this one set up the way it's supposed to go. This one's set up and ready to roll also. This one that doesn't have one on the end, it says to set it up and put the bolt up here through this hole and kind of out of the way. It's going to come out of here into the bracket eventually. So we're going to have one come out this hole this way through the bracket, one come out this hole this way through the bracket, and then this one down here will come out straight down also out of the bracket. Then we've got one that we can actually reach the back of that we don't need to fish through, and it goes up here. That's the one I liked to secure first because it just held everything else in place. And by secure, I mean I barely tightened it enough to hold the bracket up with the bolt. So that's where I'm going to start next, and we'll get this thing on, hopefully, pretty easily.
Wandering and fading, I know there is something more than this. I think I am ready for doing some changing. Oh God, there is something.
There it is, all fished through, guys. You can see the bolts coming through from the inside of the frame there. There's the one that I put on as a placeholder to hold the bracket up itself. That way I don't have to hold it and try and fish these through. There's the other one, and then here's the one that comes down from below. All I have left to do is put my washers and nuts on, tighten them down, and then torque them to 65 foot-pounds. What you didn't see was, or maybe you didn't get to see very well, there's a couple of spacers that go behind here. Those are a little bit of a challenge to get in while you pull this through, but it can be done. I actually lost the fishing wire for this one, and it went inside. It scared me a little bit, but it was right here. Everything was still right here near the hole, so I was able to get the wire back out and get it fished through correctly.
You can have all the world. I wanna be a shining light, live a life that shows through the darkness, a fire burning in the night, be a home for the world so broken, be a friend to the lonely, the joy that he showed me, make the broken things new. Yeah, the only hope for you and I wanna have the heart of Jesus. Yeah.
Well, hopefully y'all got to see some of that. I just realized that the camera may have been on photo. If not, I'll show it to you now anyway, just so you know exactly what happened here. But there we go. That's the second one now. Installed and ready to roll. You can see the bolts are all coming through this way, except for the bottom one there. Obviously it faces downward. Everything's torqued to 65. On this side of the installation, up here at the top, right up here, see how close those two bolts are together? I had a really hard time getting my deep well socket in there to get it tight and to get it torqued down to spec. I ended up nudging it over as much as I could with my my deep well socket and running it in with my impact gun, and I can't get on it anymore with the torque wrench. I'm gonna have to take that in somewhere, see if somebody has a different kind of maybe an open-ended torque wrench. I'm not sure. But all the rest of them are spec down to 65, and that one's probably over 65 now. But we'll get that looked at here shortly before we put the truck camper on. I'm getting ready to install the rear two now, and I was reading through the instruction manual, came across a little bit of a question. It says it has some extra parts here. These ones right here that are kind of star-shaped, I guess. that are for F250. It says if you don't have a 250 to skip to step 2. I'm like, all right, cool, I don't have a 250, I'm in there. I went to step 2 and it said to install only one of these. I wasn't quite sure that was going to work, so I went ahead and called tech support. They said if you have a 250, you need to use these brackets because the material on the receiver, on the hitch in the back, was a little thinner in those, and they had to beef it up a little bit, and that's why they gave you those. So if you have a 3 or a 450, you don't need to do those at all, and you're going to have extra parts and pieces, so you'll have some extra grade 8 bolts when you're done. Let's get started. This one seems to be quite a bit easier than the front side.
The heart of Jesus. Keep my windows open. I hear the cries of the broken. I know they were made for more than this. I see all the fire and smoke and their hearts are losing hope. Yeah, I know. It's hard, I wanna be a shining light. Live a life that shows through the darkness. A fire burning in the night. Be a hope for a world so broken. Be a friend to the lonely, the joy that he showed me. Make the broken things new. Yeah, the only hope for you and I wanna have the heart of Jesus, yeah.
That last one was so easy, it was only one bolt, guys. I don't know if you saw that or not, but since we do have the 450, it's only one bolt. You bolt it straight to the hitch that's already there, and that's it. You torque it down to 75 pounds, that's all. All right, so super easy, quick install. Let me show you what we're looking for. Right under here, you see that hole right there in the receiver? That's where your grade 8 bolt hardware is going to go, and the actual piece, the bracket itself, slides right in to that hole. So you slide it in, put your bolt and hardware in there, torque it to 75. That's all, guys. That's all there is. Great installation, very easy on this back one especially. So the tools for the install on the back are almost identical. We have the impact gun there with the 3/4 inch socket. This one's a deep well. We didn't need the deep well on the other side, but I still have it just in case. We need the wrench this time because we can get to both sides of the bolt finally. We're not dealing with the channel on the truck frame. There's the torque wrench, the 1/2 inch drive. I didn't need this, so I don't know why it's in there. I didn't need an extension at all. But that's it, guys. The bracket there and that little bit of hardware right there is it. Oh yeah, another piece of equipment I needed is that light. Flashing me some light up there. Also, my hydration. Gotta have the hydration. Let's get this thing on, guys. During the installation of this second one, I just realized there was something I missed on the first install, and it didn't really explain it at all. But you see right here how there's not much of a gap at all. This one isn't. This one is I haven't bolted it down yet. But see, there's not much of a gap here at all, and you can't see the inside of the receiver like this. You couldn't see this piece at all. This over here is the one that I already did, and see, you can see that. So it's at an angle, I guess. I could see that a little bit when I was installing it, but I thought it was just because there's only one bolt on one side. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to loosen this bolt on this side, get this piece right here pushed all the way back into here, because we definitely need the use of that good material there for support, and then we'll be done. So it would have been nice, but I'm sure Torklift can't tell you every single specific, you know, this is a 1/4 inch you got to go over, or whatever the case is. But so far so good. I'm enjoying the Torklift. You know, the install at least has been fairly easy. Thanks, Torklift. There it is, guys. It's all done. The complete install on the truck camper tie downs from Torklift for the 2020 F450. Fairly easy install. If I wasn't filming, the front ones probably took me 10 minutes on the first one and less than 5 on the second one. The rear would have taken maybe 3 or 4 minutes. If I didn't have to take the one side apart and put it back together because I missed that piece going all the way in, it would have been hardly no time at all in the back, especially for the 450 since we didn't have to install that extra spacer. So there it is, guys, and I would highly suggest if you want an easy install. These are super easy. I cannot say how well they do yet with a truck camper. Obviously, we haven't left to go and get ours yet, but it's coming. Stay tuned to Jarhead and Ginger's Journey, guys. We got a lot of good stuff on the horizon. Not only are we changing our camper, we got another addition that we're going to show you about or tell you about real soon. Well, if you made it this far, we really appreciate you coming along. Give us a thumbs up if you don't mind. Also, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that too. It's free and it only takes you a couple of seconds, guys. And as always, Semper Fi and God bless.
Hi, I'm Robert with From the Road with Robert, and we'll see you next time on Jarhead and Ginger's Journey.